Why did you choose the name Life is Beautiful Festival, and do you think it's just like the easiest, teensiest bit cheesy?
I chose Life is Beautiful. I've got a family member of mine that she had struggled with something that was going on in her personal life that she was very alone in having to deal with. And what I remember is being around this person my entire life, constantly struggling with the notion that she would get out of bed and believe that the family that had been with her from day one was going to reject her based on her innate premises, or based on her life. And it was terrifying. And I remember during the toughest parts of that struggle, constantly saying to myself, I just don't know why she can't get out of bed, and just be able to know that life is not against her, and her family's not against her, and her friends are not against her, and that we're all here to support her, and that life is beautiful. And then I started thinking about that more and more, and I started realizing that's a constant in a lot of people's lives. If people can get out of bed in the morning and believe, not just think to themselves, but believe that life is beautiful, full of opportunity, full of hope, and is not looking to reject them, all of a sudden, I think you'd see a very, very different world that we're all living in. So that's where it came from. And is it cheesy? Yeah. I think anytime you push a positive message on anybody, and it's just not clear, it's going to have a little bit of cheesiness. But I think the world needs a little more cheesiness.
Time for our lightning round. First of all, Rehan or Rehan?
Rehan.
French food or seafood?
Seafood.
Funnel cake or corn dogs?
Funnel cake.
Ice cream or gelato?
Ice cream with Oreo cookies on them.
Highbrow or lowbrow?
Lowbrow.
Nightclub or dive bar?
Dive bar.
Blackjack or craps?
Blackjack.
Sports betting or horse racing?
Sports betting.
Over or under?
Under.
Debit or credit?
Debit.
Indie or hip hop?
Indie.
EDM or new wave?
New wave.
MP3 or vinyl?
Vinyl.
Here, did you feel the drop off? Are you satisfied by the art scene here?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things that I like about being in Las Vegas, we came here 7 years ago. My wife's in theater. We came here for her job, and once her run was over in September, everybody expected us to just kind of pick up and leave, and we did. We stayed. And I think one of the beautiful things about the arts district here, or Vegas in general, is just that there's opportunity. In New York, born and raised in New York, lived there for the last 3.5 years before we came here, and Boston, these cities have established, very, very heavily established arts district. The arts district is very established here too, but I think there's a lot of room for growth, a lot of opportunity for artists. So I like that very much about it.
When friends, family come to visit town, what do you show them? What's the Vegas you show them?
I try and basically bring them here. For me, when I found the beat, it was like coming home. It was called it Cheers. Coming here every day and see familiar faces, and that was something that was missing for me, for a long time in the city. So I really felt like this part of the city was very special. So we try to bring downtown, take them to just show them the non-strip side of Vegas, because that's the perception. I have a friend back, maybe you guys are familiar with this, but a friend back when we moved out here 7 years ago, we told him we were looking for a house, and he said they had houses in Vegas, and he was very serious, and I was just surprised at the perception, So I think whenever people come to visit, I do my best to show them a side of Vegas that they're not expecting, or a side of Vegas that they're very excited about, and they can understand why it's such a place to live.
If you could just share with us one story that really stands out for you about that day being in Baghdad, what would it be?
Well, going into Baghdad, it was early April 8th, and one thing that always used to stick out even after I got out was when we were first walking into Baghdad, we drove up. We were part of RCT-1, which is Regimental Combat Team 1, part of 1st Marine Division. And when we got there, they told everybody to get off the trucks. We were in these huge military vehicles. And we kind of all looked at each other, and everybody felt just very weird. Everybody, they call it like that gut feeling that the cops get. Sometimes you hear them talking about it, and everybody felt that. And I remember patrolling into Baghdad. It was just kind of eerie, and everybody kind of knew that something was off. Even the people walking up and down the street, you saw everybody just kind of pacing back and forth. So that always stuck with me. That struck me because it's just you never know what you're going to get into. Even though you have that gut feeling, it's just you just kind of don't know until afterwards, and then trying to reconstruct everything and try to play it back in your head. Sometimes it just struck me the most, I think.
And I know that feeling has stuck with you. It has lessened over time because of some things that you've done, but it has stuck with you since you've come home as well. And Fox Company was among the first reservists called out, and they were among the first back, and there wasn't a really good transition plan for you at that time. Describe just sort of briefly what it was like coming back, because now there's lengthy transition programs and all of that. What was it like for you guys when you got back?
Well, when we got back, I got back at a different time than the rest of my company. I decided to do one of those things that they tell you never to do, and that's to volunteer. So I volunteered to stay back in Kuwait for a little bit longer, and so when I got back, I actually flew back in a commercial flight from Kuwait to Las Vegas. So I was out here for about I think it was 10 days or 2 weeks or something. Then I was scheduled to report back to Camp Pendleton. And from the moment I came home, my mom and my sister picked me up, and they automatically, one of the first things that we talked about kind of seriously was that I was very aggressive, that I needed to calm down a little bit, because I was never aggressive beforehand. And coming back, we just kind of say what was in my head at the time, and I wouldn't filter it. So I think that was the transition. There was none, no talks, no nothing. I think I missed no counseling, nothing. I did talk to somebody before I kind of when I went back, when I reported back. It was just like a sheet that said that if I saw any dead people and how do I feel about it and stuff like that. But it was no counseling really.
The thing is, you look so terrifically calm when you do what you do. You close your eyes, you go somewhere. Where do you go when you're playing?
Actually, this is kind of odd, but I tend to write narratives in my head for music that I'm playing. So it depends on the piece. It really could be a very specific location with like an entire story. My junior recital had a piece on it that had like a start to finish tale about a drunken hobo that was like going on constantly while I was playing. He rolls down a hill and he gets back up, etc. But other times it's just, a placid field or sky or it's an emotion. So I sort of let the music dictate where I go and hope that the audience comes along.
Let's talk about your audience. You've been playing around town for a long time, and you've been involved, I think, with virtually every group with Amplified Sound. Can you tell me a few of them? Some shows, some people you played with.
Well, I've played at the Swiss Center with a number of people. Clint Holmes was great. I did a week with the Addams Family when the Broadway tour was coming through town, which was absolutely brilliant. And I played with a lot of local bands just sort of around here downtown, Coast West Unrest and Same Sex Mary and lots of fun bands. And occasionally with electric string quartets that wear silly cocktail dresses and prance about, and there's really nothing I don't do that I can think of that's musical at least.